Yeah, I'm done, Tom.
Oh, but no, Brandon, we gotta do the show.
Nope, I'm done.
We gotta do the show, Brandon.
I'm done.
Well, okay. I'm just gonna hit the intro. Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Let's go. Brandon, Thursday night football is back, baby.
Oh,
After a game of the year nominee between the Green Bay mother-loving Packers and the Detroit Lions, we fell and crashed back down to earth with an all-time classic on Thursday Night Football, where the punters punted over 10 times in the first half alone.
nice.
It was a beautiful sight, and not a single touchdown to be seen. That's the Thursday Night Football I know and love. That's the one.
Yeah, a little rain. Boy, players these days are soft. Tell you what. Can't play in a little rain. Matt Stafford, Brock Purdy. I'm not doing that. I don't even know what that's going to lead me to say. Not saying it 5 times.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, no, Tampa, their injury report is gruesome. Apparently, they did not have a good week.
They're trying not to be soft, and they paid the price.
Yeah, dude, and that's going to be we'll talk about that game, too, because I think that's going to be one of the games of the week between the Chargers and the Buccaneers. I think that could be a really, really good, solid game.
Go Bucks. Come on, Tampa. Come on, Tampa. Help us out, Tampa. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, and yeah, in case Taylor Swift watches GPS, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Big GPS fan, I heard, Taylor Swift.
Big time.
Did you watch last night's game, Brandon?
Yeah, loosely. I was glad I didn't have to put 100% focus on last night's game. We were celebrating Jess's brother's 21st birthday, and then we did our Patreon hangout.
Nice.
So it was nice to be doing that while the game was happening, because it was probably the most boring game of the season. Outside of the fact that DeAndre Campbell quit on the 49ers. So he left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They asked him to come into the game, and he was just like, nah, fuck it. I don't want to.
Respect.
They're like, wait, what?
Quiet quitting.
Yeah, they're like, what? No, don't want to play. So we're going to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah,
but
there's some thoughts there.
And on top of that, the Niners season's over, basically.
Yeah.
They still technically they have a less than a 1% chance, but they're done. They are donezo.
Yep.
And we do this week. There are some very important games that there are teams that can lose some games this week that are kind of in the driver's seat, like the Broncos, who play the Colts. So we'll get into some of the most important games going on, because a few things kind of shake out. I think like a lot of stuff is not locked in, but the probability of change afterward, very little. Zach was drinking Code Red and Coconut Bay rum. You sick fuck, Zach.
Hey.
Also, he's been to Disneyland several times. No, Disney World.
Okay, that's important. There's a huge difference between Disneyland and Disney World. Yeah. So just saying. AA1. There you go. Yeah, 49ers, that game was rough. And I think that I have been saying this. This is a well-known thing for years. But in particular, I feel like I have said it a ton this season, that divisional games throw everything out the window, right? And usually can apply to like AFC North, et cetera, right? Like, let's say the Steelers are having like a Super Bowl run or that kind of season. They'll still lose to folks within the division, or the Steelers who maybe weren't so great last year, beating everyone except one team within the division. Like, you see these anomalies that happen, but holy crap, man. The divisional game, you cannot tell me that the Bears going toe-to-toe with the Packers, then the Vikings, then the Lions, then getting blown out by the 49ers, and then the 49ers don't score a touchdown on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then you go back to Sunday, and the Bills-Rams game, where the Rams go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen, who has 6 touchdowns, and they don't score a touchdown in this game.
Yeah.
That's why divisional football be crazy, my friend, because that game, woof, I thought we could see like a nice game, like a decently high-scoring game. Nope, they decided we're not doing that tonight.
Yeah, or like, 24-21 type football game.
Sure.
I mean, nobody played well except for maybe Puka Nacua.
Puka,
he's still great.
Puka pretty good.
Debo had a drop in that game, and then with the game on the line, Brock Purdy just threw one of the dumbest balls I've ever seen Brock throw.
He had a rough night last night.
He just airmailed this pass for an interception in the end zone. And if you go back and look at that play, he has 2 guys just sitting. It was 2nd and 11. He had 2 guys sitting 5-6 yards wide open downfield that if he just checks it down to one of those guys, they have a chance to get close.
Sure.
But that last pick killed him. Cooper Kupp had 0 catches, which a lot of people are aware of because it is the first week of fantasy football playoffs. And for somebody who actually had a good season in fantasy, you fucked me, Cooper. You fucked me. I'm not going to forgive him. Never. 0 points. And Jaden Reed, 0 points last week.
Yeah. I
Both
sucked
of them
so much
dead
this
to
year.
me.
I didn't even make the postseason. I just suck.
Yeah,
So.
but I wanted to get your thoughts on DeAndre Campbell. But I'm going to play some clips of him quitting, Kittle, Kyle
Just
Shanahan answering like, hey, guys, what happened there?
Yeah.
This is him walking off the field, helmet in hand, in the 4th quarter.
Not disbelief or disconnection like as a team. That is one person who just decided not to, play for his teammates. And
I haven't lost anybody. That's somebody who doesn't want to play football. It's pretty simple. I mean, I think our team and myself, we know how we feel about that. So
it does make our offense look at each other and be like, wow, man, we're falling apart. It's more of or like the defense, hey, we're falling apart. It's more of a one person making like Mooney said, a selfish decision. And I'm with Mooney on that. And I've never been around anybody that's ever done that. And I hope I'm never around anybody that does that again. I don't like distractions on the sideline. I think that's ignorant, and I think it's just dumb. It's just stupid, and it's very immature. And I just don't see how that's I just don't see how you can do something like that to your team.
First of all, it's a dope ass Sauron shirt. Second of all, let's get our priorities straight here. It's a dope shirt. Kittle. Yeah. But even Kittle destroys my team. He at least can wear a cool shirt. 1, but 2, there was another player who's like, oh, he's gonna get cut tomorrow, right? He's
Tarvarius Ward.
That was Ward probably, yeah. And like Ward's been through the ringer too, man. And here's the thing: I think there's responses online which have been one thing, but as a Packers fan who had DeAndre Campbell, he was an All-Pro with us. Things kind of like fell apart quickly. I got a chance to meet him like super briefly at the NFL Honors because he was up for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award for the Packers this past offseason. And he was super duper nice guy. I think what happened was as things went along, like his play definitely regressed. The Packers gave him a good old contract because he was playing really, really well. Like I said, he was an All-Pro. And he kind of started like blaming Joe Barry, which, listen, I get, sure. I have had criticisms of Joe Barry in the past. And then he went to San Francisco and was like, it's so much fun to being able to play football again and loose and kind of like throwing some shots at the Packers. And I was like, okay. And then if you watch DeAndre Campbell play through the 49ers, he has not been good. Like he has not been a great player, especially like as they're losing linebackers and there's injuries there and stuff like that. He has not been great. Just the on the play stuff. And so when something like this happens, my first thing was like, okay, like, is everything cool? Like, I want to make sure like everything's like good. But it seems like he just didn't want to play and then just left. And I feel like, well, now there's the consequences of that, or you're going to get cut. And most likely you're not going to be given another opportunity to play football, which I'm sure he knows, right? Because you don't really just walk off a team in the middle of the game unless you're retiring at halftime, you know, for the Buffalo Bills. But it's it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's kind of like a, whoa, okay. So I'm assuming just DeAndre Campbell decided I'm done playing football now. And now we're here.
There is a handful of crimes you could commit as a player that would be more forgivable for football teams to take another chance on you than walking out on your team. It is probably, it's one of the greatest sins I think you can commit as like a professional athlete in a team sport. Like, and you can hear it in Kittle and a lot of the players' answers be like, you can't do that to your team. Like, if you don't want to play and you decide you're done with football, I think everybody in the locker room will support that decision, even if it's mid-season.
Sure.
Mid-game? No, like that is, especially because they needed him to come in and play. They're like, we're getting beat up at linebacker again. We need you. It's a little rainy out there. I'm tired.
Well, that's the thing. It's strange too, because like I said, he wasn't playing well, so it wasn't like he was out there all the time. Because he wasn't in the game.
No, he was mad because he got. I think I saw a thing. He'd been demoted, right? So he was no longer the starter, and he was already like upset about that, I guess. But
correct. Which again, just the level of play, regardless of what, just the level of play just wasn't there for DeAndre Campbell. And now, I agree with you, because I think that for a team, I mean, look how Shanahan's talking about it. Look at how Ward's talking about it. Look how Kittle's talking about it. It's kind of like that betrayal. And then thinking about it just from a pure football perspective, it's like, I'm sure there was a guy on the practice squad that would love to have been elevated and given a nice game check and been given an opportunity to go out and play. So, you know, that's I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of DeAndre Campbell on a football field anymore. And again, hope all is well. And, you know, I appreciate that season that he had with us. You know, he was an all-pro, super dope. But yeah, this it seems like the end of his football career. Yeah.
It wasn't as fun as when Antonio Brown quit mid-game, you know?
That was
I think if you're going to do it, you got to take your shirt off. You got to make a scene.
Spectacle.
And you got to really excite people for what you're doing.
I mean, do you want the real answer, though? I mean, the real answer is that I just made a call because, you know, I had DeAndre Campbell as a sleeper agent on the 49ers to ruin their season. And it worked now. Like you said, less than 1%. You know,
mission complete.
Yeah, mission is done. I just called him last night and I just gave him the code word and he was just like, got it. And then he just walked off the field. So if anything, we should be talking about how great of a job DeAndre Campbell did. So
yeah, I wish. Did you pee for the D when that was?
I didn't even.
That would have been hilarious.
Pee for the D.
And then he just quits. That would have been your best one.
He's like, that was my best one. It'd be like, wow, all right. Well, it really works. Tom has a GPS Christmas album.
Ooh. Walking in a winter wonderland.
We could do it. We could do it.
And blowing. Doing mounds of snow and blow with Santa and his hose. In a winter wonderland.
Doing blow Santa now. Okay.
Yeah, that's
is that the original lyrics? I didn't know that was.
That's the real lyrics. Fucking PC World got its hands all over it. Dude, Santa loves cocaine.
Hey,
how do you think he stays up all night?
Gotta deliver those presents.
He's not doing that stuff sober, guys.
Pitts or Kincaid? Because Kincaid, he was expected to practice yesterday, right? So if he comes back, I mean, I think Kincaid would be a good start. If Kincaid plays, I might rock with him.
Yeah. That's a tricky one.
Yeah, Game Awards were last night. Hey, an Astrobot won. So that's something. Perna, you didn't win Gamer of the Year. I was a little surprised there. A little surprised.
I didn't see my my Halo rounds. Whatever.
It's fine.
I don't stream it. I do it for the love of the game.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. OBJ also got waived, so he is gone. What was that? A $10 million contract the Dolphins gave him? So that one did not work out. I mean, it had to be single digits, right? Like,
what was his contract?
Let's see on his stats.
So many people.
Yep, he was 9 for 55 He was 1 for 1 against the Jets. But hold on. OBJ I thought it was like around like 10-ish mil. Let's see here. 1 year, $15 million.
Oh.
Oh, and I'm sorry. No. I apologize. That was the 1 year stint he did with the Ravens. This one was 1 year, $3 million.
Okay,
so that one's not too bad.
That's still a lot.
That was $3
I
million.
would like that contract to do that amount of work.
I would love that too.
Basically, just exercise every day and make $3 million.
Well,
and
yeah,
then
I get
catch
it.
a pass.
Play to the bitter end. Play to the bitter end in fantasy. Why not? To the
Yes.
bitter end. To the bitter
just so everybody knows too, I am an hour and 40 minutes into the East Saga. So
wow,
I'm doing my part. And I said this in Patreon last night, and I would never say this to your face, Tom.
Never say it to your face. It's the office. Why would you say it to her face?
I would never admit this, but very talented. The writing, the performances, it's impressive. It's very impressive. Stupid that you would try and portray 8 characters. That's a crazy man's thought process, but it's good. It had me laughing immediately. So
yeah, I had that. That was when I was teaching full time.
Yeah.
And so I was literally writing that during my study hall. Okay, so where are you? What has happened?
They just kind of untied the Patriots guy, or he got loose.
Carl,
yeah. He got loose, and then Wildflower's getting a little wild. I think Wildflower just punched Frederick.
Yep.
And there's a really good line there from Wildflower where he tells the blades of grass to close their eyes. Little details like that I find very funny. What was the other line that was
Did I
really
tell you
good?
how much joy this is bringing me right now? It's
pretty the 2 guys living with their mom to take care of her.
Bruce and Springsteen. She's very healthy. Very healthy.
Taking care of our mom, but she's not sick. Like, that's hilarious.
You ain't getting no stickers.
Oh, I think my favorite joke was the letter. Was it Springsteen writing the letter? Is he the Giants guy?
Oh, the Giant Bruce, yeah.
Bruce is writing the letter, and it's this whole long thing, and then I just wish I learned to write, and then you cut to the page, it's just scribbles. I'm like, that's an A+ joke. That's an A+ joke. So
after that, after the East Saga, I decided, well, now I'm going to do 2 a week when I did the West Saga. So I did AFC and NFC and then combined them ultimately. So I decided to be even crazier. So I was just doing those every single week, adapting to based off what was going on in the games and stuff.
And there's the references to actual football are so far and few between. Yep. It's very funny. But I'm in. So I'm trying to get through it. So hopefully I can do the coach stream on the GPS Clips channel. Hopefully before the end of the year, because I want to try and do one more fundraiser there. So see if I can get through it.
Let's go. With our luck, the Chiefs. With our luck, OBJ goes to the Chiefs.
I don't care where he goes. Yep. He's the least intimidating receiver out there right now. I mean,
dear Santa, I want Tom Grossi to go to the draft next year, which I will be doing, and announce the Green Bay Packers first round draft play. I'll do the 7th round. I will do the very. If I get an opportunity to do that, I don't care.
You're going to the draft?
Oh yeah,
because it's in Green Bay. That's right.
Yeah, I've been waiting for years for this to go to this draft. So, because I probably would have gone to the Detroit one, but because this one's in Green Bay, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna definitely. My first experience is definitely gonna be in Green Bay. So,
tight.
100%.
Very tight.
Max, sneaky hands. Gotta be careful there.
Take it easy on the scotch.
Be careful there. So, Bryce Young, dude, he's been playing much better this past month. I'm super excited for Bryce Young. I've been hyping him up a lot.
He's done a lot better.
Panthers
still can't win, but.
Yeah, but I said this about Panthers fans. The fact that Panthers fans are feeling anything in December is pretty good. Considering where we were a couple months ago, I was like, all right, well, it's just gonna be another crappy season that we're just waiting till the end. And now, like, there's some optimism there. I picked them to beat the Cowboys this weekend because why not? They've been playing well enough. They've been going toe to toe with some of the top teams in the league. I think they can beat the Cowboys. I think they can do it. So, hey, that's right. That's freaking right. So curse the Packers. I'm going to have to be peeing all Sunday night. All Sunday night.
No.
We want to take a look at some playoff clinching scenarios.
No.
Oh, is that from last week? That's from last Wednesday, right? That link in there? Never mind. Let's go and preview some games, Perna.
Oh, guess who forgot to make their pick last night?
I get it. It happens.
It was
happens.
me. It was
Dude,
me.
Debo has been having a tough season. He's been having a real rough season. And last night does not help things. And I think like that's also one of the reasons why you've seen the 49ers struggle so much. It's not all on Debo, but
yeah,
looking at like when Brandon Ayuk goes down, who wasn't, kind of living up to that contract, again, short amount of time. So there's still plenty of time for him to do well. But Debo didn't step up. Jawan Jennings, he's been having a really nice year, but it didn't like Debo just has kind of disappeared. And so because of that, that is not helping their offensive woes. And again, like Purdy made some good plays last night, like navigating the pocket, and he had some good throws, but he also had some like not so great ones. And I think also just with the amount of injuries, no Trent Williams, no CMC, no Jordan Mason. I mean, they're just decimated. So it's going to be tough regardless.
My take is I just think like rain is the worst thing for quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, watching the game last night, like when you see like Stafford struggle on top of it, but going back to the Jets Broncos game this season with Rodgers and Bo Nix playing in the first half of that game, and Nix was getting, dunked on because he had like negative passing yards, and Aaron Rodgers had like 27 passing yards until their final 2-minute drive. But whether it's the QB gripping it, it's people slipping or guys not being able to catch the wet ball. I think it might fuck things up more than snow, at least this season comparatively. Like we saw a couple cool snow games this year too, the Bills and the Steelers game, but that rain on top of the division.
Oh, Kelsey or Njoku? I might go with Njoku. Kelsey I feel like he's been, I don't know how he is for fantasy because I didn't draft him, but I can't imagine it's not that great. I mean, because you have Noah Gray, you have Watson, other options there. I feel like Njoku might be the guy. I think he's just going to potentially get more targets. Personally, that's where I would go. So, yeah. Well, Nathan, I saw what's it called? Like a screenshot of like some conversation, but I couldn't verify the validity of it, so I was not going to speak on it until I looked into it more because I don't know
until
what the hell that story
credible
is.
Source does
that.
That
was like some random Twitter, right? Twitter was like, hey, like here's some random twit. Yeah, so I don't know, but if that's not ideal, so yeah, I have not taken a longer look at that. So, and we could do that. We can definitely do it. Taking a look at week 15, you mentioned a bunch of games, and there are some really, really good games heading into this week.
Some important games.
Yeah, this one is not one of them. Chiefs Browns. I could imagine this being a similar game to what we saw last night, like a super duper low scoring game. Both defenses playing pretty solid. I don't know if we're going to get a shootout here. There were some folks in the comments that were like, you know what? Maybe Cleveland could pull off an upset here.
Yeah. I mean, Jameis is going to go down swinging. I know that.
Sure.
This could be, you could call this a trap-ish game for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Browns are now officially out of it, so they really don't have anything to play for. Yeah, but don't be stupid. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
I'm going to take those silly Chiefs. But
right, John.
It could be a weird game where, Jameis throws for another 400 yards.
Yeah.
And the Browns still lose. That's one of those games. This could be the Chiefs' best offensive game of the year out of nowhere.
Because, of course, John, it brings me such joy. Such joy. Finally getting into the GCU. Finally doing it.
I was wrong.
It's an investment, though. It's an investment of time.
That's all it's been. It's a time investment.
It's a time investment.
And some of those shots are too long. But other than that, no complaints.
I'd be the happiest person ever. I still think it's the Buccaneers who are going to... the fact that the Panthers are still in it is kind of insane. But yeah,
that would be a plot twist.
I still think it's the Buccaneers. While the play hasn't been like incredible like the last week, bro. Like what they have overcome, in terms of Godwin going out, Mike Evans been out for a while, Baker throwing some interceptions, which you're not too happy about, but that team is pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. They're at least consistent. I think that's, and they found their run game, which has been really nice. So,
all right, hold on.
I'll give them some props. I will be at the combine again. I should be at the combine again. I should, I think.
You referenced it, so let me just bring it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'll be there. Gotta run my 40-yard dash again.
All right, so this is the injury report you were talking about.
Yeah, good God, man.
Now, that's a lot of people to have on. Yep. Now, a lot of these guys are going to play, right? So you got these full participants here. But let's look at the key ones. Evans not practicing. Maybe they're just trying to, keep that hamstring rested. He'll probably play. What do we got down here? Bucky Irving. Yeah, that's a big one to watch. It's a back injury. And I know I mentioned that in one video, but like the one injury I think you just cannot trust is a back injury. Like how that loosens up or whatever. Mm-hmm. You just can't predict it. And then Antoine Winfield Jr., he's expected to miss some time, multiple games. And then Wirfs, that's another one you can't have. So Chargers got Disley.
Yeah.
Trey Pipkins, Jalen Rager.
Yeah, we'll talk about this game because I think that this could be a really solid football game. Like this, I would watch. There's like 3 games on at the same exact time that I'm like, damn, I want to watch all 3 of these. Bobby, this I think is a sneaky good game too. The Dolphins, Texans. I want to see what the Texans look like coming out of the bye week. I think there's just been a lot of questions about Houston these past few weeks. And I know they're dealing with injuries too. Like they're looking at the O-line. Yeah, exactly. There's some kind of questions about the offense right this second. But if they're able to get like Joe Mixon going, and establish that run, I think they should be able to beat Miami. It's also being played in Houston, which I think is a big difference as well. If it was being played in Miami, I might lean the Dolphins here. But yeah, I think the Texans should be able to get a W, but I think it's going to be a pretty solid game.
Yeah. And they have their backs against the wall. Like, they can't lose. They can't lose.
Yep.
So that's why that game will also be interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bye-bye. 49ers.
Bengals, another good one. Hey, listen, got to rematch that divisional round matchup from a few years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the Bengals will win this game. I mean, Bengals are still theoretically alive after winning after the Cowboys couldn't field a punt. And the Titans, I don't think they're going to win this game. The Bengals
went from like 3% to 4% playoff chances. 1% with a win.
Lyman.
There you go. It's crazy though. It's
a big old contract. Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, I think they have the best offense in the NFL. They've just been depleted by their defense through the whole season. I think their point differential, I think, is 27.8 to 27.7. So offense versus defense.
They are.
And we've seen how unguardable Jamar Chase is at times. Chase Brown's been really good. But the Tennessee Titans do have, we've seen their defense be tough at times this year. It might not be the Bengals might not have to score 30 points to win this game.
Yeah.
It might be a little closer to the Dallas game, but I'm going to take Cincy too.
They have a top 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have the 6th best offense in terms of points.
The Bengals?
Bengals, yeah.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals.
Now imagine if they had like some complimentary defense this season.
They're top 10, dude. They're top 10 in yards on offense too. Like,
they're insane. Like Joe Burrow he's the leading passer, I think, in yards, and Jamar Chase, number 1 in yards. I've been trying to get like a video on the Bengals, so I've been like paying attention to a lot of their anomalies in the statistical department.
Sure. Hey, we'll see, Quinn. We'll see.
Okay, I'm going Commanders. They're getting jammed.
Yeah, the Saints are just dropping like flies, man. I mean, they're just in a tough situation. And the issue with the Saints is that, they've won 5 games. You kind of like, again, I'm never going to advocate for tanking ever, but the Saints are such a peculiar organization right now that everybody's injured. right? They lost quarterbacks. They've lost wide receivers.
Yeah.
I feel like they just need to lose and get a higher draft pick because they need to get better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of holes they need to address right this second.
If Washington can't beat Jake Haener, they don't deserve to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point. Yeah. I mean, again, being played in New Orleans and coming off a bye week, we'll see Jane Daniels gets another week to rest, and that'd be kind of nice.
Why are they not? I mean, I guess like with Rattler there too, giving Haener the start over Spencer Rattler, that seems odd. But like, do you believe in him more than Rattler, either as a possible starter or as a possible backup moving forward? I don't know.
Yeah.
If Rizzy doesn't clog the toilet, they got no chance. So Rizzy, you better have a big meal on Saturday night.
That's what I'm saying. Get waked up, ready to go. Right now, Eli, I haven't looked at any prospects because I wait till after the season for the draft. So no one on my radar just yet, unless they can play corner or potential edge rusher, because I imagine those are going to be one of the positions that the Packers are going to target first in the first round. I'd be shocked if they went otherwise at the moment. Ravens, Giants, nope.
Ravens going to win, and I need the Ravens to lose, but they're not losing to the Giants.
I don't think so.
Is Tommy DeVito starting? Who's the Giants
Tommy DeVito. Come on now.
Giants starting QB. Who they starting? Yes, he is set to return.
True.
The DeVito. Oh.
Is this going to be the biggest blowout of the week? Ravens coming off a bye. Giants losing off a blocked field goal to the Saints.
Yeah. Probably.
The Ravens might destroy them.
It could be bad.
The Ravens might destroy them. Yeah. Cowboys, Panthers.
Aren't the Panthers favored for the first time?
I think so. That's what I saw
500 years
this week.
Panthers favored?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Panthers favored to win for first time in 33 games.
Oh my God. Ravens are 16.5 point favorites.
Oh my God. That's what
I'm saying. I think the anticipation is pretty high. That it's going to be pretty bad.
Ravens, Saquon's on pace to win the rushing title. But Derrick Henry could have a 200-yard game here.
He could.
And he could get back in there.
Hey, listen, the Eagles get to play the Giants twice, so it's only fair. It's only fair here. Yeah, I would not be surprised if the Cowboys won. They look pretty damn dejected after that Monday night game against the Bengals. Like it just looked like it was a tough time. The Panthers, they need to finish a game. And being played at home. I'm like, maybe they could do it. The problem is like Brooks, he's out again. He's on IR. They just can't have any luck there. So yeah, I hope the Panthers win. I'm going to be rooting for the Panthers to win. I think they can pull it off. I think they can.
And when you say finish a game, it's interesting because Bryce Young has led game-winning drives like in the last 3 games, and they've went into overtime. They've just had a fumble and they had a drop pass.
Yep.
So like they've been this close every time, and probably losing ultimately works out better for them. But go and beat the Cowboys. And I will say for Dallas, the DeMarvion Overshown injury, sucks. That guy was playing
so good,
great football. He missed 2023 with a knee injury. And then he's having a great season. And I didn't know who he was, but there was a couple games where I was like, oh, this dude is making some plays.
He's all over the field.
And then you started to learn about who he was. And then he tore, I think, 3 different ligaments in his knee in that game. And he has to have full knee constructive surgery. So just sucks, man. Like, that's a guy I think a lot of people are rooting for. And Cowboys fans were like, oh, shit, we found another great defensive player.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking forward to next season, it's unfortunate because I don't think he'll even be able to return next year. I think McCarthy said 2026 for his return. So it sucks, dude. His knee injury happened, and who else went down? Oh, and the Panthers running back,
It's true, Dex.
Jonathan
Brooks. Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
His
Brooks.
ACL both last week. So both teams down like a player that is just going through it. So I feel bad for both of those guys.
And that's the thing too. Like Rico Dowdle these past couple games has been playing better. Yes, it was against the Giants defense, and yes, it was against the Bengals defense. But yeah, when you talk about overshowing, man, like that, it sucks because like he almost immediately you started hearing buzz, even if you weren't watching Cowboys games, and it was like, oh no, look at this guy, like you were saying. Yeah. So it sucks, man, especially for a young player. So hopefully he is able to, go through rehab, come back even better, because that's a tough injury to deal with. Where's
a coin? Where's a coin I can flip?
It's a tough day to have eyes for this one. I went with the Jets. Yeah. They're going against Mac Jones, who got a win over the Titans last week.
Yeah.
I have no confidence in either team.
I'm gonna go Jets, though. I feel good about the Jets, actually.
Yeah, I went Jets. So, this is stinky.
McCorkle, he had one of the worst picks you'll see last week. And then basically all he had to do to win that game was he threw 2 passes to Brian Thomas and handed it off to Tank Bigsby. And the Jags were able to kick the game winner, right? They kicked it to win. Either way, I was like, he did very little to win that game. Now he did make the throws, but Brian Thomas was pretty open. They weren't tough throws. So I think they got a little lucky to win last week. And we saw the Jets lose a heartbreaker. It feels like the Jets are going to win, though. They have to win this game for self-respect.
Hold on. This has been a nice little segment that we have every single time now. All right. I checked last week at MetLife what the cheapest ticket was for Giants and Saints. Okay. So Jaguars, Jets. What do you think the cheapest ticket is?
So what was last week? It was $12?
$12 at MetLife.
This is in Jacksonville?
It's in Jacksonville.
$3.
It is not. It is still double digits.
10.
19.
Oh, so it's more to go.
Honestly, I think that's a little too rich for my blood to go the Jets and Jaguars right now. I don't know.
They're taking advantage of the Florida man. I don't like it.
Get to see Aaron Rodgers play at least, but
you got to pay to swim and pee in that pool.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this on the show too. Canales, especially how that's what I meant for the Panthers too. The first third of the season, it was like, oh, this is just gonna be business as usual. We don't know what we got. Andy Dalton comes in, Bryce Young gets benched, and it's just kind of a disaster. We talked about it at nauseum on the show, but Canales and Young, it seems like, hey, at the end of the season, the Panthers don't have to tear it all down, which I know is a really low bar, but look at what they've been doing these past couple of years. And they're going to have a high draft pick. Canales seems like, at least for right now, he's the guy. Bryce Young, there's improvement in progress there. It's super exciting for the Panthers that maybe they can actually start building on a foundation. Because they just haven't had foundational pieces there, whether it was coach or his QB, for a bit.
And I think with Dave Canales, my thought was that it was a solid hiring for Carolina, because we saw what he did with Baker Mayfield. So we're like,
sure,
hey, that might be the right guy for Bryce Young. But when the season started, you're like, oh shit, maybe Baker was just really good. Maybe it was just Baker. But now it's coming together, and some of their investments in their offensive line and everything's starting to pay off. So I like it for the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I think Bryce Young, people are unanimously, I feel like, rooting for him too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, after everything, 100%. Wednesday, we'll talk about those games. It's gonna be tough because Johnny and I got to work to get those predictions out before that game on Wednesday on Christmas. So that's gonna be difficult. But they should be fun games.
Wednesday games.
Yeah, it's Christmas, dude.
There's 2 Monday night games Monday, right?
Yep. Well, there's a game and a half going on, or maybe one full game, you would say, because it's the Bears-Vikings. I think that could be a close game because of the divisional. But then it's the Falcons-Raiders. So that's why I mean a game and a half. I don't know if you can consider that game a full game. But hey, Falcons could win one. They could do it.
That Kyle Pitts, okay. Maybe he does have a nice fantasy day.
I'm super excited for Chiefs Steelers. That'll be really, really fun. This game, we were just talking about this before. Dolphins, Texans. Again, Texans need to come out. They need to play well. Dolphins, as you said, like this is a do or die game. They're holding on to their playoff hopes. They won last week in overtime. And I can see the Dolphins winning this ball game. I just think it's going to come down to the Texans. If they can establish with Joe Mixon, who proved me the hell wrong this year because he has been playing real, real well for them. I got Houston winning. I'm very curious to see CJ Stroud, though. I want to see like how that offense is going to operate. Like I agree with Bobby said before. Like it's been a little, I'm a little trepidatious about that Texans team right now. I know they expectations were sky high heading into this season, and they've definitely fallen off a bit. But we'll see what we got. You got Dolphins?
I'm only picking this based off my want for the race to be interesting. Now I want the Dolphins to lose for the Broncos, but I feel like the NFL is going to want the AFC playoff race to be a little bit more interesting. So I think two teams this week you're going to see get favorable calls from the NFL officials, and that's going to be the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts, Tom. If you're ready to see a team get fucked by officiating, it is going to be the Broncos and Texans this week. Book it, lock it. This is a very tinfoil hat sort of thought here. But if the Dolphins lose and the Colts lose, there's no intrigue for the next
AFC
like 3. Like you're hoping the Bengals win out at that point, and the Broncos lose a game or 2 games or 3, however many they got to lose at that point. I don't even know.
Gotcha.
But I was thinking about this, and I was like, I think the Broncos are the better football team. We're coming off a bye, just like the Texans, right? Believing in Bo Nix. Hopefully we see a more even-keeled passing game for the Broncos, because last time we watched them play, it was either a deep shot or nothing. Bo Nix has the most like 20-plus yard passes this season because since the first few weeks, he has just been chucking it down.
Somebody's down there.
And he and Troy Franklin are never on the same page.
Nope.
It's better when he throws to Marvin Mims. He's not the most accurate deep ball passer, but I like that he takes the chances.
Sometimes it gets there.
Sometimes it does, and it's been awesome. But I feel like this is setting up to be close. I think both these games are going to be close because I think the Colts are a better team than they were to start the season when they lost some game. They're a tough football team. So I'm worried about it in that sense. And I feel like officiating is going to lean towards the Dolphins and Colts. Maybe I'll be wrong. People watching that Texans-Dolphins game, you guys can let us know on GPS Monday. But I feel like I'm going to be very upset at the
also coming off a bye. You never know. That's amazing, Justin. I know they were down to $1. Yeah, we checked last Friday before the game, and they were down to $12. So
they got down to $1.
I mean this with my full chest. I would not pay $1 to go see the Saints Giants. Nope. To take that commute to go to New Jersey, to go to MetLife. Nope. That's pretty fantastic.
That said,
Danny, first of all, Broncos Colts, I will die on this hill. It was so bad that it was good because it was so over the top ridiculous. Last night was just boring, and it wasn't even like good defenses. It just like wasn't solid offensive play. But Broncos Colts, it still was not the worst game I've streamed. It happened that week, and it was with the Broncos. It was the Broncos 49ers that Perna night. That was hot doo-doo garbage. That was a terrible.
It was not a good game, but
it's not. This one I did pick the Broncos to get the W as well.
Yeah,
I think it's more because Anthony Richardson, I don't trust him against that Broncos defense.
There you go.
And
I agree.
Okay, do we have any idea what's going on with your secondary?
No, let me double. Oh yeah, let me look.
Because you got Booth, right? You signed Booth. I don't know how well he's going.
John Booth.
Yep, John Wilkes Booth. Yeah, Andy Booth Jr.
Yeah. Right? So Riley Moss did not practice Thursday.
150 to nothing. 150 to nothing.
Yeah. As long as Levi Wallace isn't out there,
the Giants do it every week.
We can get by.
I feel like it's. Yeah, you just have to have a plan for that. Because Anthony Richardson, I feel like you might see a similar game, like you're saying, like he might just air it out too.
Yeah, he's gonna hit a deep ball for sure. He does every week, I feel like. And he's still on the season, I believe, below 50% passing. So they still have Levi Wallace listed as second on the depth chart there. I don't love it.
Maybe he's going to have a better game.
Here's the problem with Levi Wallace, though. I think like his issue is he's just too slow. Like,
sure.
You could argue like he's maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some like corner nuance technique shit there. I just don't think I don't think he can run fast enough to keep up with quick receivers.
Well,
and when you're playing against Jerry Jeudy, his strength is speed. Literally, I think he's just too slow, and I don't know if you can fix that other than put him on a guy who's slower. They should have. I think they will have a better plan to adjust to, say, have Pat Surtain travel if needed, if there's an outlier receiver in this game giving the Broncos problems. I don't think they were expecting Wallace to struggle that much. So I think the benefit of a little time and having like some plans in case that happens again. Sure. If you believe Vance Joseph is a good defensive coordinator and he's proven it this year,
well,
I think they'll be able to make better adjustments.
Well, because I think in that sense, right? If you know, like Levi Wallace, so he had that quote afterwards. So he said every time about the Cleveland game, he said every time plays got made on me and I didn't make plays. Simple as that. Can't blame anyone else. This is the NFL. You go through good, go through bad. That was the worst game I ever played in my life. I flushed it. I flush it, excuse me. So I think it's exactly what you're saying. If you know, like, okay, listen, we're in a position where Riley Moss is out, right? We need somebody to play back there.
Yes.
Put him in a position where you're not going to have a repeat of that, right? So I agree with you. You got to just hope that then it's the coaching that say, hey, we're going to put Levi Wallace in a position where he can at least succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it would be very cool for Levi Wallace to get a redemption play in this game, you know? Even if it is like a tipped interception or something, like just give that man something, because he went through the ringer. He owned up to it. You got to respect that. Like, and it's a thing where I was just like, oh, he can't run as fast as he needs to, and you don't see that often in the NFL.
Defensive back is like legit one of the hardest positions.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at how many Lions fans, you want to have that talk? Yeah. Lions fans, how many years did it take for you to nail on a corner, right? Like you get Okuda, top 5 pick. Like, dude, it is one of the toughest positions, and I do not envy him. I think it's also exacerbated because that was like the Steelers, they've seen with Levi Wallace, right? And they were like, oh boy. And then on top of that, like a game on prime time, a high scoring game.
Yeah.
But like you said, dude, he owned up to it, and you just got to hope he plays better going forward. That's it.
I think I want to just see him be like more physical too, like at the line of scrimmage. Like if you know speed's no longer your strength, then disrupt the timing at the beginning and play physical there. And if you get out physical or at that point, but the guy gets past you, but you buy just a half a second for a very good pass rush, and the Broncos pass rush wasn't quite as good in that game. Because of those things, but you know, I trust the defense to make enough plays against the Colts, and I think Anthony Richardson's going to make a mistake and
being played at home. Yeah, I think it's good. Belichick to UNC. Oh, I know we have the game of the year basically. I'm sure
we'll see.
I'm sure he'll do fine. You know, just in terms of like the actual coaching element. I mean, was he getting paid $10 million a year? So
yeah. I mean,
when you are signing Bill Belichick, you are understanding that you're basically giving the entire organization to him.
Yeah.
Right. And so that can be good when Bill Belichick real good, and it also can be not so good when the Patriots and he was a GM and stuff like that. So
yeah, we're gonna see. I think it's just about convincing guys to play there.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're a player, if you're a college player and you get to learn football at that level from Bill Belichick, I think that's an incredibly valuable experience.
Yeah.
You know, like that dude, like that kid, we talked about, like Brady talks about that all the time about how like, oh, college programs are not, you know, training them to play NFL football. It's like a different brand of football. Bill Belichick going to teach you how to play football, especially if you're on the defense. So
that's going to be the selling point from his end, but money's fucking talking for college football players.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if Bill's going to buy into that. So, and maybe ultimately that's a good thing. You get like the right mentality to play for Belichick.
Yeah.
This is a whole discussion. We should have another day, but What was I going to say?
It's not just Dan Campbell. It's just very clear. It's also the front office, too. They've done a great job there.
Guys who go through Belichick and play in that system, they're going to be like the rare group of players who go to the NFL where life is easier once you get to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, shit, I survived Belichick in college. Like, playing with Sean McVay is a dream come true for me now.
Yeah.
Playing for Dan Campbell, a treat after 4 years with that curmudgeon.
Listen, I'll say this about the Seahawks, man. They got a big game on Sunday, but that's going to come down to the wire.
I don't know.
Dude, holy crap, what a game this is. Yeah, because Coleman and Kincaid, I was talking about that yesterday. They were expected to practice yesterday. They wound up doing that?
Yeah, I believe they did practice.
Okay. Coleman expected to play week that an hour ago. People are saying he's expected to play, so that's good.
I'm going to pick Buffalo. I think, I'm going with the Lions injuries. That's my reason. They were able to get by with Green Bay. Josh Allen's a different beast.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I picked the Detroit Lions to win. I think, dude, it could go either way. I said this is going to be revenge for that game a couple years ago on Thanksgiving when it was Bills-Lions and it came down to the wire and the Lions were like, ooh, almost got that. Yeah, I think this will be a really, really fun game. The Lions are getting some people back, which I think will be helpful. So I got Detroit winning this, but I think it's going to be a really, really fun football game.
Yeah,
I'll be streaming that game because it's going to be great.
I got to watch the Broncos during this.
I do know that. Russell Wilson, was he 5-0, I think, against the Eagles?
Wow.
Never
There you go.
Them predictions.
Russ did beat the Chiefs in Denver, technically.
Yeah. Dude, this should be an excellent football game, too. I think it's going to be a defensive game. And I picked the Eagles because I'm not going to pick against them after the Ravens game, but it's more so if they can control the clock here, I just believe that the defense of the Eagles can give Russell Wilson some problems, and maybe it's just down to a turnover.
You just said exactly what I was thinking. I trust Vic Fangio scheming against Russell Wilson more than I trust Russell Wilson to take advantage of Vic Fangio's defense.
It's fair. Yeah, it's going to be tough to establish the run. But yeah, I got the Eagles here in Philly, but I think it's going to be a great game. Yeah, exactly, Jake. I'm a little annoyed that it's going on at the same time because I think both these games are going to be excellent. I wish it was a 1 o'clock game for one of them because
they should have flexed one of these two into Sunday night or
Sunday night we got a great game too. So let's not talk about
or the morning.
Yeah, put it on.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals. That's an easy pick over the dead in the water Pats.
I did pick the Chargers to get the W. I love the Buccaneers. I'm so happy for them. I got the
injury report. Thank God you guys pointed that out.
But J.K. Dobbins, man, like him not being there that's 2 back-to-back weeks where Gus has had like 30-something yards. So if they can't establish the run, it's gonna be tough. But Baker's been throwing some interceptions. Yeah. If the Chargers defense take advantage of that, I think they get that W.
Here's how Tampa wins too. I think the Chargers interior of their offensive line struggled last week, and Bucks got a game wrecker on their interior. So that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Vita Vea is healthy, right? He wasn't on that list.
Just send him out the right for everything.
Is Vita Vea healthy, guys? As long as Vita Vea is playing,
then you're good.
Tampa got a chance.
And you're right. Oh, my Packers and my Seahawks. Well, not my Seahawks.
I got Green Bay on it, Tom. I'm going back to the pack.
Let's go.
The Green Boys are here.
Green Boys back. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go Bears and go Broncos. Go Perna.
Yeah.
Listen, Packers, I think this would be a fun game. Got to get pressure on Geno Smith. Have to. I'm really curious to see how the Seattle defense is going to play against us because their defense has been playing really, really well these past couple weeks. So, yeah, I think the Packers get a W, but
just stop Zach Charbonnet and you'll be all right.
We'll be all right. We've been actually playing pretty well against the run, so it's not been too bad. So, you're picking against the curse wheel, by the way.
Oh, fuck. You know what? I don't trust that guy anymore. I'm going against the curse. For your go pack go.
That probably just cursed us even more. Yeah, I got the Vikings getting the W here against the Bears, and I have the Falcons getting a much needed win.
Yeah, these are two easy picks for me. Boom.
There we go. Beautiful. Bert, I know you had to skedaddle a little bit early, so what do you got coming out today, brother?
Everything we got wrong about the 2024 NFL season.
I love it. I love it. Going to be putting out an Amazon skit today, and also, of course, Friday night Q&A tonight. We're streaming 2 games on Sunday. Want to make sure Perna gets on out of here as time. Folks, we appreciate the hell out of you. Sorry to rush you out. Check us out. We're a podcast. I'll see you later tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated. Got to run. Go, Perna. Go. He's got to go.
Reach your destination.
Bye.
I'm going.